So AVL is frequently overlooked or has been put off to the very end of the project, because that's typically when it gets installed. But that's going to be a very costly thing. I'll tell you a quick bit about myself. PTG has been in business now for a little over 7 years. It came about as an interaction from working as a subcontractor on some BGW projects. I'd always been looking for my niche and how to serve the Lord, and it quickly became apparent that this was a great match. First and foremost, of course, we always serve the Lord. That is our function. It just happens to be our talent is in AVL. Partnerships. Start this relationship early, and you'll see why as we go through the process a little bit. And this is why. There is a lot that goes into the investment that you're making in the building in AVL. Your infrastructure is critical on how this is going to function day one, but it's also critical on how it's going to function 10 years down the line. There is a lot of forward thinking that we give to your infrastructure, as well as making sure that you stay in budget. It's crucial that you're able to be heard and seen. Otherwise, your message is not going to get across to your congregation, your clients, whoever you're talking to. Reverberation in a room, all that goes with, plays a really negative role. Your congregates become fatigued, and they stop listening, or they start looking at their phone. Or stewardship. We are stewardship driven, highly stewardship driven. We know these funds were sacrificially given, and they need to go to good use. There are two most common ways of abuse in this area, especially since it's one of the largest ticket items that you're going to invest into your building. Like Don was saying, frequently it gets exploited by other AVL companies. The other way is just as bad, but it is done with a good heart, is your tech team. They love shiny, sparkly, new gadgets. And even though their heart may be in the right place, they can run a budget completely out of control real quick. So, as a partner, we are going to work with your AVL team, your pastor, your congregation, to make sure that we're replicating your DNA. No two churches are alike. There's no cookie cutter answer for this. But we are going to take all of these things in consideration and help shepherd you through the process. I'm very proud to say that many of the photos that you've seen and projects that you've seen up on the board this morning, have been projects that we have been strongly involved with. Tons of references, everything from very small churches to very large churches, and we're here to help. We're a part of the BGW family and very proud of it. Got a short video for you, and then we get to eat.
When we came into this building from our old building, it's kind of like when you go fishing and you go with an old cane pole, which just has a bobber on the end of the line going up to a piece of cane. And then you go to a rod and reel. You're catching fish either way, but the experience of doing it is very different. And I can tell you which one I prefer. We went from the old facility where it seated maybe about 400 people to the new facility that we're in now, and it seats about 800. So there wasn't just a difference of size in the new room, but there was also a difference of what we could do. In the old room, everything that was in there for the most part was done piecemeal over time. It was never intended to be a long-term solution. Everything from the way that the stage was constructed, the way that cables were routed, the way that the video equipment was set up. We came here and PTG helped us think through every single one of those things so that from the ground up, we had a system that was designed with our desires in mind. One of those desires was to have a green room, a place where we could meet before the service. Another thing was to have multiple monitors throughout our campus where we could see what was going on in the service at any time. Another thing was a lighting system with greater control, things that we could do that we weren't able to do before. And then also having a screen that was very dynamic in terms of how it looked, but was also very useful in terms of being able to do different things at different moments in the service. The other thing would just be a quality sound system. The sound system we've got in here is light years away. And that's the funny thing with technology, it just keeps changing over time. And so with this facility, as the technology changes, we can change with it. We interviewed several AVL companies leading up to this build. What stood out about PTG was, one, they had a standing relationship with BGW, which was the design build firm that did this. They were in from the ground floor as a result of that. I've seen a lot of times where AVL is more of an afterthought, and this was from the foundation, built and baked into the whole process. PTG was on board. So they were helping builders, designers, architects think through our needs as a church from the very beginning. All the staff is very professional, very kind, very timely in responding to questions. The person I dealt with the most is Misa Loya. He was the kind of site director when they were here. And Misa has made way more trips here, I think, than were initially planned because there were things that needed to be fixed or addressed, and Misa was on top of it. He saw things through to the end until we were done and really showed a dedication to making sure the customer, us in this case, was pleased with the final product. So if you're looking to utilize AVL in your church, I would say hire PTG because they're going to help you think through all of the things that go into a building. And I'm going to warn you, you need to prepare and think about things more than you think you need to. Come visit our church if you can. Take a look at the work they did and see the finished product. You'll be amazed at what you see.
So another way that PTG integrates with us is that during the concluding stages of the charrette, we'll organize a call with Jeff and with people from your worship team to get to the bottom of a real budget, not a fictitious wannabe sparkly budget. We need to get that number pinned down. That's part of counting the cost, and Jeff can greatly assist us at that point. And then stick to that if things get out of control. Worship directors are uniquely qualified to blow budgets. I don't know what it is, but that happens a lot. And I think they think like a lot of, I think they come from the arts world. They think that way, and money is no object. If we need to do this, we just need to find the money for it.